see how it goes today. Okay. Let me open this. Very good. 2 days old. See, is it 2 days already? Okay, so I think this is where we stopped yesterday. We pivoted the table, or let me say we pivoted the column. We unpivoted and pivoted at the same time. So, and this is where we arrived at. So, trying to let it load completely. But let me just do a refresh, and see what changes will happen. I'm not expecting any major change, though, but let's see. I don't know why it's asking me to refresh it's been just 1 day. Okay, yesterday and today, 2 days. Okay. But it's taking time. Filter. Did you filter? Mm. Let me go back to the Excel sheet. Why this is okay. This is a customer. So, does anyone have any question based on, or maybe from personal practice? Any clarifications to? Does anyone need any clarification about anything before we look at the next step to take in order to solve this? To solve this. Okay. So I'm going to assume that we are all fine with everything we've done so far. And I hope we all know why we unpivoted and pivoted the columns.
No, sir. Good evening, sir. Sorry, I was not there yesterday. If you can just please.
Okay.
If it's possible, but otherwise I will go to the recording. Thank you.
Okay. I think record this with Sister Debbie. I think we recorded it yesterday, but I will just try and just for the benefit of people that were not around, and even for better understanding of people that were around, I will just go over it briefly. I won't spend much time on it, because we can always, go back to the recording just to have a clearer understanding of it. But I'll just go over it briefly. This is where I think before we did on pivoting and pivoting, we were at this stage. I'm sure this is the stage you were with us at,
Yes, sir.
We were in class when we did the grouping, right? When we did the summarizing of the data.
Yes.
Yes, this is where we stopped, So I'll just quickly go over what we discussed, just as a form of revision. So this is what we did, the outlook here, after grouping, So I just picked out an account number, just to serve as an example of what we want to do next, what we want to achieve next. And I used this account number. This is the data here, like I said yesterday, is not the actual data, I just like a prototype of the entire thing. So we have the primary city, the account name, the customer type, the year, month. These are the 4 columns we selected before we did the group by, and we grouped by these 2 values. We grouped by the data subscribed and the bonus used, and we arrived at this new, we formed these 2 new columns, which is data subbed and use bonus. So this is data subbed and used bonus, use bonus. So this is the data sub. Let me just put it in the exact way it is, and use bonus. So we have these two, this is not part of it. So these we have just these 6 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this point, these are the 6 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now the next stage is to count. For the requirement is for us to count how many times, in 6 months a subscriber subscribed to data or for data, and how many times in 6 months did a subscriber not use bonus. That's our interest. And if we have to count how many times a subscriber, if we have to count anything in Power Query, with the way this data is structured, we cannot successfully count what we want. And this is what I mean. If you want to count anything here now, let me go back to the data. Now we have this for this customer, for instance, let me select a customer and account number. For this account number, 1001, that spans from here to here. We have the customer's details, the primary city, the customer type. And what is very important to us here, are these 3 columns for this customer: the year, month, the data sub, and the use bonus. Now, for this guy now, or for this person, if you want to count how many times did this guy subscribe in 6 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, from July to September. That means this guy subscribed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes. Let me see. Okay, sorry, this is the beginning. He subscribed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer is 6 times for this subscriber. And how many times did he not use bonus for this guy? The answer is 1, 2, 3. So we're expecting to have 6 counts for this guy for the number of months that he subscribed within those 6 months. And we are expecting to have 3 as the count for the number of months this guy, did not use data. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, it should be 1, 2, 3. Did not use data. That means when we have 0 as our value, within the 6 months, these are the data, these are the bonus used. These are the number of times these guys used bonus. And these 3 times are the number of times this guy did not use bonus. We are talking of bonus here for this column, bonus. So we are expecting 6 for data sub and 3 for number of times of unused bonus. And how can we achieve this? And remember that the first 6 rows, these first 6 rows are for just one customer 1001. And how do we count? The way, what's it called? Power Query counts. Power Query counts column from one column to the other on a row. If you want to count now, if Power Query is to count anything here now, if you say count these values here, it's going to create a new column, assuming it's going to create a new column here. This is going to be new, and this is going to be new as well. It's going to create new columns here, and it will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Power Query will put 6 here. It will count this one too and put 6 here. So that's how Power Query counts. Power Query counts like this. That's the way it counts. It does not count downwards. It counts sideways. That's the point I'm trying to make. So we have to restructure our data, to align to the way Power Query counts for us to have our answer. It's true that we have to realign our data set to conform to the way Power Query counts in order for us to achieve what we want to achieve. That's the point I'm trying to make. And if we ask Power Query to count this for us now what we need is the data sub, the data sub and the bonus used columns. These are the columns we really want to count. These are the two columns we want to count. So if we select these two columns now, like this, you select here, put control and select here. For instance now, and we ask Power Query, we go to start, add column, statistics, we ask it to count the values here. Count the values. It's going to count it. Are you sure you want to insert a step? No, not here. Let's go to I don't want to insert. Okay, let me insert it here. It's going to be after it, but it's going to kind of disorganize what we've done. But I think it's better for me to make a copy, to duplicate this query and make use of this. Okay, let me just make a duplicate of it and make use of that instead. Let's just give it a little time to complete the duplication process. So while it's duplicating, so we need to understand that the way Power Query counts, it's from one column to the other sideways. It counts row by row, like I explained sideways. So we need to reorientate our data sets, to be able to allow it to count what the actual things, the actual values we want it to count. Why is this taking a lot of time? It's taking a lot of time, Okay, while that is in progress, let's see. So like I was saying, let me go back here. So if it's to count now, if Power Query is to count, it's going to count 1, 2, and name this, create a new column and name it 2. It will count 1, 2, and give you 2. Meanwhile, what is it counting? It's counting, now what it has counted is just for first of, I hope this thing, okay, good. So that you understand what I'm trying to say. Let me go back here. After group. Okay. I need to take it easy. If not, it will just hang. Okay, good. Now, as we want to count these two columns, 1, 2, there is go to add column, ask it statistics, we ask it to count values. Just to count. Okay, let's insert it there. I can do anything with this one. So now the next step is the count. So let's it finish counting and let's see what the result will be. Okay, it's taking, well, it's a large data set, so okay. What we're expecting is, while that is being done, like I said, it's going to give us 2, 2, 2 for each of the what's it called? For each column. Okay, good. You can see 2. I selected just this one, I counted. Now, this 2 does not make any sense. This 2 value here represents what? It represents for September, it means this guy used data once, and he did not use data bonus. He's giving us the record for just 1 month. These two here is giving us this record for the following month. He subscribed for data here, and he used bonus, or he did not use bonus here. That means he's saying that in September, he subscribed for data and did not use bonus, and it's giving us a count of 2. Here, in October, he subscribed for data and he did not use bonus. But what we need is, how many times did he subscribe for data in this entire 6 months? Not for each of the months. And how many times did he not use bonus in the whole 6 months? Not for each of the months. So we need to look for a way that it will count everything, that whatever result we have here is a result showing for each customer across the 6 months. For each customer across the 6 months. That's why we went into on pivoting and unpivoting. And we all agreed that for this, this is the way the data is structured at the moment. What I just showed you in Power Query, is like this. This is the arrangement. Data sub here, use bonus. So we need to reorientate the data set so that we'll have months. These months here that we have in the column will be here as headers, and data sub will be here as a value here. Data sub will be here. Then used bonus, we have it here, not as headers now, but as values or as items. Then this will be for customer 1003, 1003, or let me say retailer, the same person, retailer, 1003. Don't mind the space. Let me remove the space. Delete. We don't need space, yes. I'm just repeating these values. Control C, Control V, Control V, then Lagos, Control C, Control V, Control V. So we'll have it like this. Now, when we have it like this, it's the same, it's practically the same information that has been repeated, but in a new order. Escape, Control C, Control V. We all agree that this is practically a repetition of what we have here. It's practically the same thing. Lagos, customer. Instead of appearing 6 times, it's the same customer. We need customer name. Retailer, we have it as retailer. Data sub here is data sub here. Look at the months, all the 6 months are now up here. And look at the values. 15 data sub for August, and use bonus is 2 for August. Look at for August, 15 data sub and use bonus. For September, 25 data sub and 0 use. For September, 25 data sub. Then all the way down to December, for data sub is 25. For December, data sub is 25 and bonus is 9. You don't need this. So do we agree that it is still the same information transformed? Hello?
Yes.
Yes. So it's the same information transformed. Nothing has been added, nothing has been removed. Nothing added, nothing removed. And in this way, if we ask Power Query to count now, like I said, we select just these 2 columns. I select this, cancel. If I select just this entire column now, and I said, count for me. Now, you must choose the column to count. If Power Query counts this one, it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will give me 6 here. And if it counts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will give me 6 here. And what is it counting? This 6, do you agree that this 6 represents now the number? Now, we will do some other, what's it called? Some other modification, because this 6 here represents the number of times this person did subscription. Here, though this person subscribed 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, he gave us 6 because it counted 0 with it. But this item here, it's at least the 6 here gives us an idea of data subscription of a singular, what's it called, account holder over a period of 6 months. This value here is for a singular subscriber over a period of 6 months. And that was what we could not achieve here in this other one. In this one, you know, we could not achieve for a customer over a period of 6 months. The 2 year is only for over a period of 1 month. So that's why we had to reorientate the data, you know, to be able to do that. And what we did was to unpivot. And how did we unpivot? You know, the first thing we did was the data set was, so let me now go back to here. You know, let me now go back to what we had here. You know, this was like, it was like this before. So unpivot means make whatever you have in the, as headers, make it an item. The first thing is to, these 2 guys, we want to bring them down. From here, we want to bring them down. And how do we do that? You know, and the columns too, you know, we're only bringing these guys down. So we need to select everything here, you know, and do unpivot. That's exactly what we did here. What we did to get this was to do this, Control, select this, and click on transform data, click on unpivot. Sorry, unpivot. Unpivot columns. That means unpivot these 2 columns selected. So when we click on that, this is the step. We arrived at this step. You can see that now we have all the months. So we know we did not select months. We only selected, remember, we only selected the data sub and use bonus. So we brought them down from headers to items. So you can see that they are now items now, you know, and because we selected everything with the values underneath it, so the values too will be arranged logically, you know, so that it will follow the first data that comes here, this data and sub will come here, this one will come here, this value too will arrange it. Power Query has a way that it will arrange the values so that they don't miss. It will be a rearrangement and it will still be correct. So we have brought it down now, and it has, let's see for the first one. Look at the first one. Data sub is 125. And the use bonus is 0. You see, for the first one, data sub 125, use bonus 0. Once it gets here, you can see data sub 125, use bonus 0. It has rearranged it, and that's where it will arrange everything from top down. So we have been successful in bringing, what's it called, this guy down here now by unpivoting. So that was what we have achieved. Now, how do we now bring this month up like this? No, we are not touching this side. No, we are not touching this side. These ones, they still remain. So as we are doing it, everything, you know, we have 6 here, it changed to 2. This one will be rearranging itself as we are rearranging this. We don't need to touch this. As we are rearranging this one will be rearranging itself too. But this is what we need to, this is our focus. This is what we want to transform. So we want to now bring this from date. This date that is in the column, there are items here now. We want to make them headers. So if you are making item headers, it's the opposite of unpivot. That is pivot. Pivot is making item headers. Unpivot is making headers item. So we want to transfer this guy from here to the top. You know, So, and how do we do that? We want to pivot this column. So we select this column and click on pivot. Pivot column. So once we do that, this is our pivoted column now. We now have exactly what we want. Exactly. So they've been promoted as headers now, the dates. So, and that's exactly what you want to achieve. The dates are now headers, and the data sub and use bonus are now items here. And we have it. So if we do a count now, and that's all where we will stop. Now let's do a count now. So this is I don't need this filter. I think this filter I was trying to get something yesterday. I want to know why I filtered it. What did I filter? Let me check what I filtered. I didn't have to filter anything, but let me see. Equals to, oh, okay. I was searching for something yesterday. Okay, cancel. I don't need this actually. So this is the pivoted column. So we can see that it has rearranged itself. See, all the account numbers now, they are now in twos. And previously, before we pivoted, let's go to when we grouped, each account they were 6 in number. They repeated 6 times. And remember that we did not even touch anywhere. We did not even touch the primary city. We didn't touch the account number. We didn't touch the customer type and these 3 columns while we're doing all of our pivoting and unpivoting. Everything we did, was just on data sub, we unpivoted, and year month, we pivoted. These ones are arranged, themselves to conform with whatever arrangement. From occurring 6 times, they now occur 2 times. One for data sub and one for use bonus. Now, we can successfully do a count now. If we want to count now, we only want to count. We can count the values from here, control, and we select it to here. We select everything. If you now say you want to add a column, you want to, from statistics, let's do a count values. So that's this where we'll stop. So that's, we have to reorientate the data set, to be able to conform to how Power Query works. And because I said that Power Query counts from some sideways from one column to the other, like 1, 2, 3, and we want it to count like that. I want it to count for every month, So we need to make sure that our month is on top. You can see that we have 6 here. 6 here represents, this is 1 for September, for October, this is I think this is September, for October, for July. So this is for August, for October, for July, for November, for December, and this is for September. This 6, there is everything is counted here. This 6 represents for each of these months. This is for each of the months. This is for each of the months. And that is exactly what we want to achieve. So now what we have here now, we have this count is for the entire month. So he's saying it's just a count. It's just a count, but we need the count of how many times these guys subscribe data. And it's giving us the entire count. It's counting 0 with it. It's counting 0 with it. And we don't need it to count 0. We only need it to count values, not 0, because this guy subscribe data for this guy now, only 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are meant to see 4, but it's giving us 6 because it's counting 0. And that is what we'll try and figure out how to go about that, in our next class. So I think this is a good place to stop. Yeah. Do you have any questions before we call it a night? Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, is it clear to this stage?
Yes.
Yes, but I would like the recording again, so I'll go through it again.
Okay.
For
Okay.
me, repetition is key.
Not